With the kickoff of a new year, our DHS divisions saw new opportunities in 2019. And the Division of Child Care and Early Childhood Education started by setting the bar high, announcing a $3.5 million grant to help better serve children who experience trauma and provide professional development to those who teach and care for Arkansas's youngest learners. Moving forward in our promises of reform, DYS closed the Colt Juvenile Treatment Center and continued making capital improvements to its other treatment centers. After a lot of work, a revised AR Choices program and rule went live in Arkansas. The goal to focus on the functional needs of aging adults and those with physical disabilities and how they can be better served in home and community-based settings. DMS also held providers accountable when a non-emergency transportation provider failed to meet performance expectations and the needs of clients. DMS staff worked with the Office of Chief Counsel, Procurement, and others to cancel the contract and quickly find alternatives to meet client needs and expectations. All the while, preparations were underway for the start of the Arkansas legislative session. Being an agency that touches so many Arkansans in so many walks of life, DHS staff were frequently called to attend legislative hearings, give insight on the impact of bills, and work with legislative partners to make reforms to laws where needed. Refusing to rest on our laurels and transformation in other areas, DABA staff took on the challenge of overhauling its forensics program, to include a move toward dashboards for tracking from a manual process, a new effort to keep judges informed, and a new way for people involved in the criminal justice system to get mental health services without a forensic evaluation. March was a big month for making strides in serving those with developmental disabilities. The PASS system went live, where the passes moved beyond care coordination to full management of clients' health needs. During the process, there were certainly challenges, but with round-the-clock work by DDS and DMS, the program improved and moved forward. We also celebrated the grand opening of the Blue Umbrella, a gift shop open year-round that sells handmade items from DDS clients living in our 5 human development centers and out in the community. The store is also staffed by clients who earn independence and a paycheck by working at the store. All profits go in clients' pockets. While DHS divisions and offices had been using dashboards for months to manage performance, we decided to make our commitment to accountability a public endeavor. We launched the DHS Performance Center, where members of the public can track our operations data, read our required reports, and monitor our program performance using the same tools that staff use. At the end of the month, and nearly exactly a year since it was approved by the federal government, a federal judge halted the Arkansas Works work and community engagement requirement.
I remain fully committed to a work requirement, and we are in this for the long haul because we believe it is the right policy for Arkansans who want to work and need more training and more opportunity.
April marked another huge showing of support for preventing child abuse in Arkansas through the DCFS annual Child Abuse Prevention Rally at the state capitol. First Lady Susan Hutchinson joined DCFS for the event, where the main focus was the role we all can play in preventing abuse by supporting families in our communities. DMS announcing in its quarterly scorecard that Medicaid transformation savings had reached $537 million. That's exceeding its $173 million savings target for state fiscal year 19. Nearly $250 million in savings have already been recorded. The division also selected and kicked off its first rate review in response to the governor's executive order calling for a systematic review process. DIPSQA also stepped in to help DMS as it worked through a backlog of provider enrollment applications and revalidations. DCO and IT, meanwhile, got underway on a major infrastructure modernization project to create a single eligibility system for Medicaid, SNAP, child care, and T programs that could serve as the technological backbone for other services. ARIES has become an everyday word for dozens of DHS staffers across offices and divisions as they move to create a unified system to make work easier for employees and a better experience for clients. And speaking of technology, DABA and the Office of the Drug Director launched the Narcansaw app. It includes instructions on how to give Narcan to someone who has overdosed with the goal of saving lives, plus recovery resources to get them help afterward in addressing the opioid epidemic. During the April drug take-back effort, DHS turned in over 50 pounds of unused prescription meds at our central office, and statewide 14 tons of medication were turned in to help prevent prescription medication misuse and abuse. Arkansas lawmakers adjourned the legislative session. Overall, more than 170 bills touching DHS were passed, which would eventually require thousands of rule changes over the coming months. May kicked off with an amazing Walk for the Waiting fundraiser, complemented with Change for a Change and our annual yard sale, for a total raised by DCFS of $18,964 to help support our community partners in caring for children who enter foster care and those waiting for a forever home. Director Misha Martin and her executive team put in some sweat equity in the Area 4 file room after it won the fundraising competition by raising an average of $25 per staffer in its area. Mother Nature threw us a few curveballs in May, with major flooding across the state requiring activation of our ESF 6 emergency response teams to help our partners in managing the crisis and meeting the needs of affected Arkansans. DHS didn't go unscathed. Threats of floodwaters required us to temporarily close the Pulaski East office and relocate staff. That closure would turn permanent as the waters receded, and we discovered we could reinvest rent money and other overhead expenses and continue to serve the residents of Pulaski County with one less physical office space. By June, the heat was on and school was out. Our DCCECE summer feeding programs were underway, and over the summer they would serve thousands of meals through more than 100 providers at over 400 sites. Integrity efforts also ensured that resources and funds were truly connecting to those in need, while the Health and Nutrition Unit was able to close previous USDA management evaluation findings in the division's nutrition program. Opening a year-round gift shop, not enough for the staff in DDS. They wanted another first for clients. The Blue Umbrella Farmers Market kicked off in June, followed by one each month throughout the summer. Fresh fruits, veggies, flowers, and salsa were just part of what they had to offer. DHS staff, our downtown neighbors, members of the community, and even members of Congress connected with clients and our DHS mission during these fun events. Not to be outdone, DYS ended the month by closing a second juvenile treatment center, this one in Dermott, making a smooth transition for all the youth who left the facility and returned home or to other centers. With the end of fiscal year 2019 and the start of fiscal year 2020, DYS also made the move to return its facilities to private management, while also launching a new community texting tool to keep the public informed about youth who leave without authorization. At the same time, it worked to address growing problems with that issue. After a year of operating the Outpatient Behavioral Health Services program, DABA celebrated huge growth in the number of mental health providers and access to services, with behavioral health agencies increasing from 253 in 2017 to 311, and individually licensed practitioners growing from 31 in 2017 to 207 in 2019.
So honored, just especially hearing the stories of all the other families and how amazing they all are.
Governor Hutchinson and First Lady Susan Hutchinson helped us celebrate our Foster Parents of the Year by welcoming us for a wonderful evening at the Governor's Mansion. Ashley and David Daniel were chosen as the statewide winners because of their commitment to reunification, serving teens in foster care, and being mentors to other foster parents. July also marked moves for some of our colleagues as state agencies worked to realign as part of the governor's plan for executive transformation. AmeriCorps and the Division of Services for the Blind joined other agencies, while DYS gained C-STEP, a behavioral management program for young men. C-STEP had previously been part of the military department, but now works with other DYS staff in offering the right treatment to youth at the right time in the right setting. By August, DDS had fully implemented its EIDT program to serve children with developmental disabilities and complex medical needs in educational clinics. DHS also celebrated a year since we announced a reinforced commitment to integrity in our department. That effort included monthly Let's Talk Integrity sessions that have covered a wide range of topics, from mandated reporting requirements and do's and don'ts of accepting gifts to how customer service relates to integrity for us all. With its commitment to making treatment for mental health and substance use disorders accessible to clients, Governor Hutchinson was excited to announce that DABA had launched its mental health support line.
And let me just reiterate the excitement of this news today. First of all, a 500% increase in the access of our citizens to mental health providers and drug abuse counseling. Secondly, we have this helpline that will be available to the citizens across the state for proper referral to a local community health provider.
Clients in need of services but unsure of where to find them can call the line and get referrals to providers in their area. It's a single source for them to find the information they need quickly and easily, which can make all the difference for someone who is struggling. In September, DABA and the Drug Director's Office hosted the first regional peer recovery conference, bringing hundreds of people from across the nation to panels and breakout sessions on best practices to support and help those dealing with mental health and substance use disorders. The Division of Provider Services and Quality Assurance also gained a new director. Jerry Sharam moved from the Office of Chief Counsel to take over the division. And the Office of Human Resources launching a major rebrand of its recruiting efforts to recruit a wider range of new employees to DHS and highlight the perks of working in a place where you can pursue your passion, start here, and grow here. A place where employees see their values reflected in the work they do. And we closed out the month with food trucks, fall goodies, and a whole lot of fun during the 4th annual DDS Fall Food and Craft Festival. Clients from our 5 human development centers and those being served in community programs showed off their artistic talents by offering tons of handmade items for sale. At the beginning of October, DIPSQA had to step in to ensure client safety at 2 nursing homes by seeking receivership of those facilities as they ran low on food, supplies, and funding. A few days later, that number would grow to 5 facilities in all. DIPSQA staff monitored the operations of those facilities and coordinated with dedicated staff to keep residents safe during the uncertainty the owner was experiencing. DCFS also released its annual report of progress in reforming the child welfare system. Family First Fits Us highlighted how a historic federal law aligned with the division's vision of strengthening families and getting children into stable, safe homes faster. With support from divisions and offices across the agency, DCFS reported major strides in areas that had been in crisis just a few years earlier. An increase in children being placed with relatives, a decrease in the number of children coming into care, and progress on average caseloads and the number of foster homes recruited across the state. With Family First's federal funding opportunities, the division laid out goals for in-home services to support even more families before abuse and neglect occurs, to hopefully reduce child trauma and ensure safety. And speaking of children, hundreds of kiddos from Central Arkansas came to visit DHS staff during the 4th annual Halloween event. Willy Wonka, Star Wars, Toy Story, Harry Potter, The Lion King, and the Addams Family, just a few booths on the trick-or-treat tour that gave children sweets and maybe a few friendly scares. DHS also celebrated its model employees along with the Arkansas Human Services Employee Association during October, acknowledging the hard work, innovation, and dedication to service across our offices and divisions. Julie McLaughlin, named Employee of the Year, and the Secretary's Conference Room was renamed in her honor. In November, the department announced its multi-phase plan to reorganize county office locations to align with client needs and volume while expanding and adding processing centers to streamline processes to make eligibility determinations on applications for benefits. During our Veterans Day event, General Don Morrow, retired Adjutant General for Arkansas, honored us as the keynote speaker, highlighting a commitment to lifelong service in the armed services and civilian roles. The colors presented by students in DYS's C-Step Color Guard Brigade, and we added more than 60 portraits to our Veterans Wall of Honor of those who have served or are serving in the armed forces and continue to serve in their roles at DHS. And as we move toward the holidays, we built some bridges along the way, with the Junior League of Little Rock hosting not only our Division of Children and Family Services to get toy donations, but also DDS's Blue Umbrella pop-up shop to showcase the work of our clients and artisans. DCCECE walking the walk on supporting parents and improving childhood experiences. By November, the division had hosted more than 342 trainings in 41 counties, with nearly 5,000 parents participating to get helpful tips on parenting skills and child development. The division also launched its quarterly DCCECE family newsletter this year, offering updates, family-friendly activities, and recipes to more than 5,000 families who receive child care assistance. The Polar Express at Conway Human Development Center, bringing smiles to residents' faces and bringing visitors from out in the community to our campus to celebrate with clients. A parade of Santas helping out while St. Nick was up at the North Pole close to Christmas brought some holiday joy to the residents at the Arkansas Health Center as well. We've accomplished a lot of goals, overcome a lot of challenges, and created a year full of opportunities. Now that we've taken a look back, we're setting our sights forward on what the next year holds.